Shastra and the commentators explain how the concept of Sharanagati is throughout the epic, and its paramount place is first 18 chapters of Yuddhakanda, where Vibhishana surrenders himself to Sri Ramachandra. We saw Vibhishana Sharanagati in nutshell in previous session, and in this session I wish to further give the concept behind Vibhishana Sharanagati. Before that, let us explore what is Sharanagati. Sharanagati has 3 or 4 meanings in dictionary. Sharanam can mean house or home. Sharanagati can mean approaching someone's home or house. This is a very literal meaning. This also can be a meaning for Sharanagati. Vibhishana Sharanagati is not just this. Second kind of meaning for Sharanagati is giving up all kinds of efforts to a very great being and believing that that great being is totally taking care of us. This is a kind of Sharanagati. Though it appears to be very simple, this can be seen in very rare souls. Others can only talk on that. Maybe a very great saint named Nammalvar, he gave up all his efforts to Bhagavan, and he was sitting throughout his life. This can be called as Sharanagati if it includes God. For some other purpose also one can do it, like Jadabaradar. There was a great soul named Jadabarata, Bharata. Normally, Pauranikas call him as Jadabarata. In Purana, his name is Bharata. Well, we come to Vibhishana Sharanagati. Is Vibhishana Sharanagati this kind of Sharanagati? No. Okay. We are talking in the context of Vibhishana Sharanagati. We need to understand what is this Sharanagati. It's not just approaching the home, coming back to the home, or a guest coming to the home. It's not just giving up all the efforts in the context of Vibhishana Sharanagati. What is Sharanagati in the context of Vibhishana Sharanagati, or predominantly what is Sharanagati in Ramayana? When we come to this, I here wish to share a shloka with you from a very famous Pancharatra text. This shloka, Anukulyasya sankalpaha pratikulyasya varjanam rakshishyatiti vishwasaha gotrutva varanam tatha Atmanikshepa karpanye shadvidha sharanagatihi. This shloka talks about 6 lakshanas of Sharanagati. Lakshana also is definition. Definition and Lakshana are more or less one. Even though we find in this shloka vidha, shad vidha, even though the word is used as vidha, it is lakshana only. Shad lakshana sharanagati. That is how it has to be taken. Because it doesn't talk about 6 kinds of sharanagati. No. Anukulyasya sankalpaha is one kind of sharanagati. Pratikulyasya varjanam is another kind of sharanagati. We should not take in that way. For example, 9 types of bhakti. There, they are the kinds. Sravanam is one kind of bhakti. Kirtanam is another kind of bhakti. Vandanam is another kind of bhakti. These are various kinds of bhakti. But when the kinds are explained, they are only kinds. They are only parts. Just by explaining the parts, you don't define it. Okay. Definition of bhakti is something different, which comes in Bhakti Sutra. Satu asmin parama prema rupa. Bhakti is the intense love. Okay. The kinds of bhakti don't define it. Kinds of bhakti means listening to the Lord's story. It's a kind of bhakti. Kirtanam means singing His glory. Is a kind of bhakti. Which means you can sing the Lord with or without bhakti. With bhakti also you can sing. Without bhakti also you can sing. Just singing cannot define bhakti. A bhakta can remain, the one who has bhakti can remain without knowing how to sing. To be a bhakta, it is not a requirement for Shruti, Tala. If someone doesn't know Tala or Shruti or Raga, still if his heart is filled with love towards Bhagavan, that can be bhakti. Another person is very great expert in Thala, Mridanga and Raga, so on and so forth, but he doesn't have devotion. Then it cannot be called as bhakti. So that's why I am telling Shravana Kirtana, Smarana Pada Sevana need not be the definition of bhakti. They don't define bhakti. They are the parts of bhakti. Parts of bhakti mean they are the Uddipana of bhakti. Uddipana in English. They can enkindle. They can enkindle bhakti. Okay. When it comes to definition, it is nothing but the pure and intense love towards the divine. Okay. The same way, what is Sharanagati? If you ask what is Sharanagati, here in Pancharatra, these two shlokas give us lakshanas of Sharanagati, not just parts of Sharanagati. So through these 6 lakshanas, you can define Sharanagati. So among these 6, for your understanding's sake, I can start from the 5th lakshana, that is Atmanikshepa. Atmanikshepa means submission. Please understand. I submit myself to something or someone. So submission is the definition of Sharanagati. The word Sharanagati comes in Ramayana predominantly to denote submission. I submit myself to a concept, for example, dharma. I submit myself to Bhagavan, Ishvara. I submit myself to my Guru. These things can become Sharanagati. And this submission, of course, is natural. Interestingly, when you observe the human nature, from time immemorial, humans love to submit. Okay. Why? I don't know. Probably because they understand their limitations. Okay. They want someone to guide them. They want somewhere security. And they understand that they are bound by time and space. And they also unconsciously feel how nice it will be if someone who is beyond time and space, or who has more mastery in time and space than me, can guide me, can give security to me. This kind of a security quest, or security inquisitiveness, or security aspiration, or security desire, makes him to submit. He is in rest, he is in solace when he submit. Especially the children submit. Okay. You can't talk a very huge philosophy to a child. Very big J. Krishnamurti philosophy to a small and innocent child. Now only it is opening its mouth and telling few things. Appa, amma. The child wishes to submit. Child needs parents. Whether a child needs a parent or not, this we need not discuss. Child knows. Child knows. A child needs parents. Child needs a father. Child needs a mother. Child finds a solace in the parents. See, this boy. Now he submits himself to Nandakumar. Okay. He takes refuge in Nandakumar. He did not plan to sleep. Okay. He did not plan to sleep in the class. But in the Aravanaipu, what to say? In that kind of caring, it lulls him. In English, they call it as lull. In Sanskrit, it is lalayati, lalanam. Okay. In that kind of lulling, in Telugu, they call it as lali. Okay. That kind of la, it's a very nice word, la. The child naturally sheds its adjuncts, being in sat sampatti, swam apiti, swapaha. Okay, at rest. And this kind of rest, okay, the child requires the parents aravanaipu, parents caring. Okay. And psychologists say, even though we grow till death, we all have our child tendency somewhere in our personality. Adolescents also have. I hope you might have heard of transactional analysis. Very wonderful thing. Emerson. He talks about 3 elements in a personality: parent, adult, child. In these 3, parent, adult, and child, all the 3 are present in all personalities. Among the children, the child is predominant. Among the parent or among the old men, parent is predominant, but child also is there. Child element is there. In our Rishi also, child element is there. Sometimes we feel to eat chocolate or some sweet. How many of you? You all have child element. Of course, you are children, no doubt. You are blessed to be children. Okay. And fortunately, this childhood comes first in humanity. Just imagine, all are born as adults. The whole world will look horrible. Whole world will look horrible. Okay. Fortunately, we are born as children. Okay. It's a very great varaprasada. It's a very great blessing. It is a very great blessing to be born as a child. Okay. Having the taste of childhood for probably some 20 years after birth. A very unique blessing we have. Okay. In these days, that requirement may be more. Parents, while coming out of childhood, adult's nature, maybe 16, 17. At that time, there will be a quarrel. That's the way they come out. What's the quarrel? Why my amma is pressing me, giving pressure. My father is, why he is like that? Why he does like that? My parents are not taking care of me. Okay, that resistance will come. We should be very happy. Because this resistance means that the child starts to grow. That's the way to grow. Okay, the bird will try to fly out. But no, mother is resisting there. Bird, she also will help. Mother, I don't know, up to that time, father will be there or not. In bird, anybody knows? Father will also be there to some extent, and he will go away, I think. Mother will be there. Mother also will help the child, the little one, to fly outside. Normally in 16 or 7, that's the time of getting, becoming major. At that time, the child will resist. Not vehemently, child will continue to love the parents, but still some questions, few things, and a few complexes. Are the parents not taking care of me? All these things, due to some chemistry change. Okay, all these, some chemical reactions, these things will happen the age of 16 to 18, 19, 20. And finally, probably at the age of 23 or 24, to some extent, maturity will come. I think PG's age. In college, they will go to PG at that time. It's a growing age, a very important age, very dangerous age also. Because at that time, if they get into some intoxication and all, if they get trapped, forever they will lose the life. Very unfortunate. Forever. If they are harnessed, if they are channelized in those particular ages, okay, they will become great heroes in their life. They will get settled. The same age, however intelligent he may be, however beautiful or handsome he may be, if he is getting trapped with some intoxications, then his whole life, I think I'm wasting my time. I have to talk on Sharanagati. Submission. I was talking on submission. Since the child element is there throughout our life, somewhere this will be there. I need to submit to someone. With that kind of tendency, only some people submit themselves to some drugs, some intoxications. Some people become hero worshippers too. Okay, taking some person, maybe an actor. Generally, taking an actor to be an object of submission is common throughout the people. Okay. And they submit, and they go on to stand there for 4 to 5 hours to see the first show. They will be very happy. I have seen the first show. So the satisfaction they get. Okay. All these things will happen. I have seen the first show of that movie. Have you seen that? You have not seen, I have seen, so I am greater than you. Okay. First show, you have seen only the second show. Okay. So these things are coming. Its more elevated form is to submit oneself to some god or goddess. Okay. It is going on and on. Everywhere in human nature we see this. And through this submission, he feels security. If you go to a child and tell, no, you don't submit. Thou shalt not submit. The child will start to feel insecure. Child will not be in peace. Okay. There is a very wrong kind of education. Going to a child and telling, don't submit. Okay. It will feel highly insecure. Okay. So this submission is there. Whether you wish it or not, submission is a part and parcel of the life. To all at least human beings. Let me take only human beings here. Okay. And in that, to whom we will submit? That's another question. Surely whom we consider as better than us, to them only we submit. The one, by submitting to whom we should get elevated, if we don't take him to be better than us, then that submission is impossible. The elevation through that submission also is impossible. So, I am doing Sharanagati, the object of my submission is better than me, greater than me. This tendency is called as Karpanya, the sixth Lakshana of Sharanagati. Sixth Lakshana of Sharanagati. I first of all feel I am lower to that great divine. This is Karpanya. It's a very important field. This can reduce many problems in the human world. Generally, I give an example here. Someone said to me, I don't know why in the temples we see various beggars. When you come out of the temples, there are thousands of hundreds of beggars sitting there, troubling us. Give me, paisa do. Looks very indecent. Generally, temples look very indecent, filled with beggars. Someone said this. I was explaining something to him, a very important observation. Beggars are in temples because their needs are fulfilled in temples. Where will they go? Will they go to airport and stand? By going to airport, can they get money? Or will they go to some pub of Bangalore? You ask the beggars to stand in front of a pub. Will they stand there? Because they thoroughly know those who come to that pub will never give money. Why they will never give money? Simple. For what people go to pub in general? To cherish their ego, to cherish their arrogance, to show off. Hey. For that, some people are gathering and they are shouting, dancing. Okay. Pub is required for that. Pub is there. If a beggar goes there, they will throw away. This indecent fellow, he is very ugly. By seeing him, I am getting vomited. I can't tolerate him. See, whether I help him or not, I can't even tolerate his appearance. When a beggar comes, I can't even tolerate his appearance. This is how a pub will be. Pub dane? Abba. Pub. Okay, this is how a pub will be. A beggar cannot go to a Karodapati's house and stand there. A beggar cannot go to a pub. A beggar cannot stand in the gateway of airport. He will never get anything. So he will come only to that place where he will get something. Just this experiment proves beggars are standing in front of a temple or church. Masjid, I don't know about masjid. Okay, I have seen in church. Maybe masjid also. Why they stand there? For a simple, definitely in these places they stand. Why they stand? For a simple reason. See, they may not know the whole of process which I am going to explain. They know one thing. We get money here, for sure. Those who come here, they empathize and give money. They become helpers. Why? This question a beggar may not ask, but I ask. Why they become empathizers and why do they help? Why the temple comers? Why those who go to the temple to worship, they become empathizers and help? A very important question. Why it is not happening in a pub, or in an airport? Why it happens here? For a simple reason. When one goes inside the temple and stand in front of a deity, for any reason, to get something, he believes that if he prays, he can get something. For any purpose, if he goes and stand in front of a deity, one thing will happen at least for a fraction of a second. What happens? He feels that he is little in front of the deity. Karpanya. When he feels he is little, he is lower, to some extent a kind of samadharma also he experiences. Some kind of equality in front of God. What is that? Out of the temple, I always think I am to be superior. I am the greatest one in the world. I have come here to rule the whole thing. The kind of tendency he has. But in front of the deity in the temple, when he stands for a few minutes, he feels, I am small. When he feels I am small, with that he feels I am equal to these beings also. Kind of a tendency of equality also comes in front of the divine. Divine is greater than all of us and we are lower to him and we all are equal. That kind of tendency comes at least for a fraction of a second. And in that same time, at least for a fraction of a second, he feels that he is submitting to the divine. He feels that he is submitting to the divine. See, the fusion of these three, what are the three? A fraction of a second of the experience of submission. A fraction of a second of the experience of I am lower. Fraction of a second of the experience of we all are equal. With the tendency when he is returning after his worship, if someone is standing there with sadness, with sorrowfulness, he will definitely try to help. He'll be definitely trying to serve. Worship leads a very coincidental kind of, peripheral kind of worship also can lead you to a fractional second of service and help. But when this worship is harnessed well or channelized well, it can give much results. regarding humanity or empathizing. Very important observation. Okay. Karpanya Atmanikshepa. Okay. Just by submission, this may not occur. For example, if you submit to some cine actor, when you go to a movie, you submit yourself to a cine actor. Do you? Not all. Just for entertainment, people can go to movie. Not all persons who go to movie submit themselves to the hero. But definitely a considerable crowd. If the hero is a superhero, okay, if the hero is flamboyant, if the hero is making war and all, people will be ready to submit. Okay. Will it lead to empathizing and humanity? Need not be, always. The simple experiment can prove that will beggars stand in front of theaters? Okay. After watching the movies of so and so person, if the people will come out, they will offer a lot. Therefore, we should stand in front of this theater. If beggars think like that about some hero, that hero is not an ordinary hero. Please understand. He may not be an ordinary hero. If beggars think, let us go and stand in front of cine theater, so that this guy's movie, when watched, will develop humanity and empathizing, and he will, the people who watch offer to us. Nowhere I have seen any example like this. If somewhere beggars think like this, then definitely that hero cannot be an ordinary person. Please understand. I have never seen such a kind of hero anywhere. Coming back, where I left. Yeah, just because you submit, it doesn't mean you will develop humanity. If it is the case, then you can develop humanity even in a cinema theater, where you submit to a hero. But, very importantly, when you go to the temple, you not only submit, but also feel that you are lower. Okay. There you are humble. And that feel gives you another feel that I am equal to these persons who are with me. And with them I come here and have the darshan of the Lord. This kind of tendency, when you come out, can impel you to give dana, donations. Always this dana and worship are related. That is why the word yajna means both. Yaj deva pujayam, yaj dane. Okay. These two are interrelated. If you worship, it's a kind of personal worship. Not by the force, by yourself. If you wish to go to a temple and stand in front of a deity and worship, naturally you develop the tendency to offer to others. Okay. So wonderful combination. Anyhow, coming back, Atmanikshepa Karpanya over. Next, one more thing. When you are submitting, whom you will submit? All submission is not positive. Just this example is enough. When you go to a temple, after worshipping there, when you are coming out, you have a tendency to offer to beggars. This cannot come in a theater. But in theater also you submit, in temple also you submit. Please understand. In theater also you submit. So, just by submission, humanity doesn't come, but submitting to whom also matters. You can submit yourself to a drug addict. You can submit yourself to be an intoxicant. You can consider him as best person in the world. Somebody who takes liquor and who also offers liquor to us. Such kind of person is taken to be wonderful. He is going to be my guide in my life. What is that kural? Kani iruppa? Kai kavarndattu. Kani iruppa kai kavarndattu. Okay. Leaving all, who can guide well? For example, Bhishma can guide well. Even Drona can guide well. Leaving all of them, choosing some idiot to be my guide. And he is going to bestow wonderful things in my life, believing in that way. Simply because of a reason that he is offering me liquor. He is the best person to me in my life. He is offering to me drugs. He is the best person in my life. With this idea, some persons may roam. Okay. So that is also a kind of submission. It's not that always a submission can lead to wonderful things. Submission can elevate. The object of submission is extremely important. To whom you submit is a very, very important thing. Okay. Sometimes I feel when I go through some places in Tamil Nadu, what is the name of it? Some name it comes. Very popular name. Is it only in Tamil Nadu or in any state? The liquors are kept for sale. Tasmak. Is it only in TN or? Okay, in TN it is called as Tasmak. Okay. Yeah, that I understand. Tasmak, it is called as Tasmak in TN. When I just go through, when I was going through a street, in front of a building, there will be a huge crowd. You would have seen this in Bangalore also. After the corona season, a very long crowd standing in a very long queue. Even Tirupati Balaji will not have such a huge queue. Such a long queue. Leading to the Tasmak. Here, MRP. Okay. Vacharambano. MRP. Okay. So, such a huge crowd. While we look at these people, what I feel is, in my mind, this is due to some apachar. Apachar, I don't know how to translate it in English. Okay, they are standing here. What is that apachar? Since they did not submit themselves to the divine, they are standing here. Since they have not submitted themselves to Sri Ramachandra, like Avatara Purusha, the great soul, they have to submit. They are destined to submit themselves to, unfortunately, these kind of trivial and filthy heroes. filthy heroes. This will be the result of not submitting ourselves to the divine. Because submission is human nature. Humans know their limitation. They want to submit themselves to something or someone. Submission is human nature. Most of the humans don't exist here without submission. If you don't submit yourself to the elevated soul, if you don't submit yourself to the divine, if you don't submit yourself to the higher concepts, then it's something like two options only, do or die. You will submit yourself only to liquor as a punishment of it. You will be enslaved either to liquor or similar to that. Sukadin dukkhanidhanam pratimunchasva. It's very natural. Okay. Somewhere someone said just before 2 days in a casual talk, Ananubandha Sukha cannot be permanent. It is only a transitory thing. Either if you ignore Abhaya and Nishayasa and continue with Ananubandha Sukha alone, you will fall in, you will be trapped in, you will fall in Atra. One cannot continue in, whether it is right or wrong, I have to think. It did not strike me before. I did not think about it. Ananubandha Sukha is transitory only. If you engage yourself Ananubandha Sukha for a long time without Abhaya and Nishayasa, you will naturally fall into Atra. Naturally fall into Atra. This is what he said. So based on this concept, if you think, it's a very deep view. If you think, then see, this disc? Yes. Yeah, upon this book is kept, the Veda. If Veda is not kept, upon that, so many other things will come in a week or two. Few things will come. Since the Veda is kept, nothing is coming. Please understand. Okay. I am remembered of another example, but time is not there. Many mountains are destroyed in Tamil Nadu, right? We lose several mountains for granite and all. If you see the place where the mountains are getting destroyed, a few mountains will remain. Because upon that mountain, some temple is found. When the temple is found, the people are more sentimental to that mountain, and the people safeguard that mountain from the destroyers. Destroyers are also sentimental to avoid those mountains. Okay. This is interesting. Since the temple is there, that mountain is not getting destroyed. In this way, temple or religion or worship is helping the people to save the mountains in India. Interesting. Actually, it should not happen in this way, but I'm telling as an example. Whether temple is not or there, it is our responsibility not to destroy the mountains. Coming back, here things are not placed because Veda is kept here. If the Veda is not kept, things will be placed. Because vacuum cannot remain as a vacuum. You can never see anywhere vacuum in nature. You can never see anywhere vacuum in nature. This is physics. Up to our times, nobody has created vacuum at all. Vacuum is just a name, it's a term. Nobody has seen any vacuum anywhere. Okay, something is filling the space. Even if you remove all the things, air is filling. If you remove air, Micromagnetic waves are filling the space. If you remove micromagnetic waves up to our times cannot be removed from space. Okay. Coming back to the point. So, vacuum. You can't find anywhere vacuum in nature. This Ananubandha Sukha is like a vacuum. If you try to create it and to be in that alone without Abhyudaya or Nishtayasa, Atra will start to fill up it. Atra will start to fill up it. And let me give you another example. A person from a very great Sri Vaishnava tradition with a very great Acharya. Okay. Generally, when I go to Mumbai, I generally go to his house. The house is filled with Kanchi Varadan, Ranganathar, so on and so forth. All pictures. Lord Venkateshwara, Sri Ramachandra, Krishna. I love to go to his house just because of to see these pictures, and house appears as a temple. And he attained Paramapada, and then his son was there in the house. So after a long time, I went to that house. I couldn't see any picture. Rama, Krishna, Ranganatha, Balaji, no picture. I asked him, why? Your father had all the pictures, grandfather had all the pictures. Now you don't have pictures at all. Why? He said, meditation. Meditation? Yes. I'm going to a meditation class. They said that I should not have all these pictures. Okay. I did not respond. And I saw a gentleman's picture there. After a few minutes, somewhere, a gentleman's picture. I asked, who is this? And he is the chief of the movement where I am learning meditation. Then I asked him, so your guru has told you to remove all other pictures except his one. And he has instructed you to keep your guru's picture. That alone you are having. Fine. I went. Then after a few years, again I went to that house. I saw again Varadaraja Perumal, Ranganathar, Balaji, the Thirumalayappan, Sri Ramachandra, Sri Krishna, all pictures. I asked him, why all the pictures have come back? He said, I went to learn meditation. But when the children are born to me, they couldn't understand the meditation which is taught there. To bring up the children in some culture. Again, Varadaraja Perumal, Srinivasar, Ranganathar, all are required. Therefore, again all of them have come to my house. I thought this fellow is Buddhishali. This fellow is Buddhishali actually. There are some fools. By throwing away all these pictures, thinking that they are very great prajnas, they spoil their children too. Whatever meditation you learn, so on and so forth, your basis is this. Based on this only you are picking up everything that you don't understand, you don't know. Okay. The same question I pose. There is a book named Satyartha Prakasha by Arya Samajin, Shri Dayananda Saraswati. Arya Samajin. Please understand. It's a Shastriya book. It's a Shastri book. It discusses a lot about Shastras. Veda, Vedanta, Upanishad, Dharma Shastra, Dharma Sutra, Yoga. Yet Dayanand doesn't have a very positive view about idol worship. Therefore, he severely condemns, in the same book, he severely condemns idol worship. Okay, let it be so. The same question I asked. When I went to some Ram Mandir, Sri Rama Janma, Dayanand is very popular, very famous in North India. Here, people don't know about Dayanand. In North India, after having Ram Lalla Darshan, when I come out of the temple, there is a huge street where many shops are found, in which several book stalls are there. I waited there to pick up some books. There I could see Satyartha Prakasha. Don't ask why Satyartha Prakasha is not seen in Ranganatha temple. As I said, Dayanand is very famous in North India. It will be available in the outskirts of any temple in North India. You go to Mahakal Ujjain or to Ayodhya or to Vrindavan, you can find Satyartha Prakasha in bookstalls. I was thinking, Satyartha Prakasha is condemning idol worship. Dayananda did not write Satyartha Prakasha just to condemn idol worship. Satyartha Prakasha he wrote for many purposes. Condemnation of idol worship is only one of the elements of Dayanand. Don't think that it defines Dayanand. Okay. Satyartha Prakasha in Ram Janmabhoomi, I could see it. Anyhow, the book is condemning idol worship and it is sold in front of a sacred spot of idol worship. Why can't it be sold somewhere else? Even airport has bookstalls. You can go to the bookstalls of airport and you can see several books. Why can't Satyartha Prakash be one of the books found in airport? It's a very important question. Why only in front of Ram Janmabhoomi Satyartha Prakash is sold? Because only those who come to the sacred spots, those who are temple worshippers, they are capable of understanding this book. They are matured enough to understand this book. This book cannot be understood by the people in airport. The airport has so many other... No, I have seen in the airport Ramayana, Mahabharata, and no. In airport, your Ramayana and my Ramayana will not go. Ramayana may be translated Gita plus Ramayana. That cannot go. You can't see that in an airport. Maybe hodgepodge persons or great persons are there. Like, what is his name? David Frawley. Devdutt. Devdutt Ramayana, My Gita. His book's name is My Gita. Not Bhagavad Gita. My Gita means, whose Gita? Devdutt's Gita. Will be abundantly available. Bhagavad Gita will not be available. Do you think that Ramanuja Bhashya, Shankara Bhashya, all these things are available in the airport? No, never. People will not understand because they are drunkards. Mostly, all are drunkards who travel in flight and all. Mostly. Majority people. They can't understand, they don't have the tolerance to learn a Shankara Bhashya, Ramanuja Bhashya, never Madhva Bhashya. Why Madhvas are very less in population? Because not an easy thing to be understood. The principles, the philosophy taught by Madhvacharya cannot be sold in an airport. There are high-tech gurus and hodgepodge gurus who can encourage living together, dating, Only such kind of persons can. Their books are available in airports. Please understand. Okay. Like we beggars cannot go to. I said right? Beggars cannot stand in front of airport. Beggars cannot stand in front of hub. Probably hub also may have a bookstall, I don't know. Irukuma? Kadayada? Irukadu. The people who go to pub are not even matured enough to read a book. Therefore, bookstall is not available in pub. But at least some people are matured to read some books in airport. Therefore, some bookstalls are available, where you can get several books, including the books of some high-tech gurus. Okay. But if someone is traditional uncompromisingly, such kind of sampradaya, shastriya, those who seriously discuss about these things, that's a different kind of thing. The books which condemn the tradition, which condemn Shastra, Shastric way of life, the books which have to tell you that these are superstitious, only that kind of books are available in airports. And they also, these fellows are real beggars. They don't dare to write books condemning directly the Shastra, because that will not be sold anywhere. In the name of Shastra, they will be writing books, My Gita, Sita, retelling of Ramayana, Scion of Itraku, okay, trilogy, Shiva trilogy. Okay, only this garbage books are sold. Okay, coming back to the point, the Satyartha Prakasha, for example, why it is available there in front of Ram Janmabhoomi or Mahakal? See, the base is this temple worship. People who, a guru, he was talking to, I know that guru, he was talking to an NRI. I'm going to come to USA. He also doesn't like idol worship, like our Dayanand. He also doesn't like it. But he knows Shastra, he knows. He said, can you arrange some lectures? This NRI was responding, I will try in some temples. What gives cushion for all these things? Temples. Because when you deliberate some philosophy, higher kind of philosophy, the container becomes eligible through some kind of rituals happening in temple or idol worship. That is how it happens. One of the classical examples is Prabhupada of ISKCON. In USA, he moved with trivial people. Okay. He thought, how can he teach them? See, whenever you are listening, it's a very great thing actually, you know. People cannot sit and listen for an hour. In our school, you are blessed to develop this skill. And one of the skills here taught is listening, sitting and listening for an hour or 2 hours. People don't have that patience. So when Prabhupada went to, I think Houston, okay, how to teach? See, I need to teach Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. How am I? That too, no program organizer is there. I go to a park where the people are dancing here and there after having some drinks. In what way I am going to teach? If I start to say something like Bhagavata Ekadasa Skanda, they will not understand. They will never understand. Even Indians will not understand. So what happened? First, let them learn the samskara, let them have some culture. He first started with the Nama Sankirtan. You guys are singing here, I will sing a song. Okay. He started that now. You are all having delicious dishes. I will give you some dish, prasad. That's how he started. And gradually he made them to pick up this kind of dhoti and shika, tuft. Gradually. And gradually further. Among them, some, what to say, they started to understand and they started to get elevated. If thousands are coming, hundreds may wear dhoti and tuff, and 10 may learn and read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavata. Okay. That is how it all happened. So, first culture, then understanding. Directly the people cannot understand. I was talking about I was talking about Satyartha Prakash example. Forgotten. Yeah, why I said that? Yeah, submission is the nature. But submission to what is very important question. I can go to cinema theater and submit myself to some hero or heroine. That doesn't elevate me. That doesn't refine me. It can even spoil me. But if submission is my nature, why can't I submit to the great Ramachandra? This is called as Goptrutva Varana. Goptrutva Varana means choosing the Gopta, choosing the one who can give me security. Choosing the one who can give me security. This is called as Goptrutva Varana. What kind of security? Without falling into the traps like drug, without falling into the bad habits. This is a starting point. And without falling into the tamas in laziness, with growing, one who can make me to elevate, grow, enhance. One can make me a holistic personality. Only him we can call Gopta. Choosing the Gopta, this is Goptrutva Varana. This is the third Lakshana. These are all fine. You started with Atmanikshepa, submission. Now comes a very fundamental question. What is submission? Submission means what? Like our Srinjay. I am submitting. இது பேர் என்ன? இதுவும் மைக்கா? சூப்பர். இதுக்கு ஏதாவது குட்டி பேர் ஏதாவது இருக்கணுமே சின்னதா? இது மைக்கு, இது காலர் மைக், பெரிய பேரா இருக்கு. மூர்த்தி சிறுசு, கீர்த்தி பெருசு. காலர் மைக். ஓகே. பெருசா இருக்கிற மைக்குக்கே மைக்குன்னு தான் பேரு. இது சின்னதா இருக்கு, ஆனால் பெரிய பேர். This collar mic for a scholar. I am submitting this collar mic to Srinjay. What does it mean? I am taking this and giving to Srinjay. This is understandable. But when I say I am submitting myself to Srinjay, what does it mean? Means always going with him. When he stands, I also will stand. When he walks, I also will walk. When he sits for dinner, I also will sit for dinner. If I do like this, he will get irritated. This is not submission, this is imitation. Very interesting thing, if someone is getting imitated, he will be tensed. You try somewhere. You need not to tease a person at all. For example, our Pranav just starts to imitate Kola. Okay. Like Kola is smiling, Pranav also will smile. Kola has like this and smiles. And the Pradhanam also have. Continuously, if he does it, he will be irritated. This cannot be submission. Then what is submission? What is submission in this context? Atmanikshepa. This is nothing but, the submission is nothing but anukulyasya sankalpa. You have to tell me, I should not tell you. What is submission? Parents are telling, I am submitting our child to you. Okay. Grown-up people also sometimes will tell, I am submitting myself to you. What does it mean? It simply means, in Tamil we can tell, நான் என்னையே உன்னிடத்துல சப்மிட் பண்றேன். அதுக்கு அர்த்தம் உன் சொன்ன பேச்ச கேட்கறேன். ரொம்ப சிம்பிள். I will adhere you. I submit myself to you means I will adhere. Adhere, correct? I will adhere you. What else can be the meaning, yaar? What else can be the meaning? I will adhere me. I will adhere you means what? Means I will do the things, okay, as per your wish. Okay, as per your wish. This is called as anukulyasya sankalpaha. This is anukula sankalpa. So atmaniksha, what atmanikshepa means if this question comes? The answer is anukulyasya sankalpaha. Okay, I submit myself to my Lord means I'm going to lead a life which will be appreciated by my Lord. What else can be the meaning of submission? Please understand. We may use several jargons, submission, sharanagati, prapatti. See, what is the meaning of that jargon? Okay. So, if I really live my life in such a way which can please my Lord, this has to be called as sharanagati, submission, and this alone can be called as submission. See, in definition, deduction is very important. Deduction leads to clarity. What else can be submission? Okay. Narrowing. Without understanding the meaning, we may use several jargons. And some delusion may come, I have understood. For a long time we may use. From our birth we have heard these words like dharma. Nobody knows the meaning of dharma. Okay, like that, sharanagati. What does it mean? Sharanagati means submission. Okay, come on. What is submission? These things are not poetry. I am submitting myself to you. I have no other refuge. This may be poetry for ordinary people. This cannot be poetry for the great souls. Okay. Submitting means I am pleasing you. To please the Lord, what we are supposed to do. How to please the Lord? I am submitting myself to Sri Ramachandra means what? I should live a life through which I can please Him. To please Him, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, if I garland Him, if I decorate Him, or if I cook some delicious dishes and do nivedana to Him, If I fan him, he will be highly pleased. This is the way I can please him. If this is the answer, what kind of character your Lord has? What kind of, you see, just thinking, say Ashruth. Ashruth will be very much pleased if I garland him. Ashruth will be very much pleased if I sandal him. Sandal dhanepa. Ashruth will be very much pleased if I decorate him with ornaments, offering new dhoti. Ashruth will be very much pleased if I glorify him. If I glorify him, then what kind of person he is? What kind of person he is? If he's a child, it may be fine. I don't know. Maybe at the age of 2 or the age of 3, if you garland him or decorate him, he will be very happy. Okay. But he is an adult. By doing this, I can make him happy. If I glorify him, he will become very happy. Then what kind of character he is? If I say to please Ram, to please Rama, to please my Lord, if I do all these things, he will be pleased. What kind of character your Lord is? Or what kind of character you have created to your Lord? Okay. See, when you are praised, you will be happy. When you are garlanded, you will be happy. If someone brings you some delicious dishes, you love vadas and jangris, and you go to such an extent, if I make this vadamala and jangri mala, Hanuman will be pleased. Okay. This is the way to please me. I see that in my God. I see that in my God. It's interesting. But God cannot be such a cheap person. All these things I am doing because I am cheap. And I am seeing my cheap features in God. See, if someone is glorifying me, I become happy. I assume that God also will be happy if he is glorified. Okay, if at all God exists, I assume that he has to become happy by glorifications. This is my own assumption based on my features. My features. Then we are glorifying God. We are garlanding him. We are doing puja to him. Are you telling that these things are waste? No. I'm not telling like that. I can't tell like that because I am performer of puja every day. I can't tell like that. These are not waste. But I am asking the question, are these the way to please him? To make him happy? So for what else we are doing this? We do it. While we do, you just observe. While you are doing, don't imagine something. While you are doing, you just observe. How the thoughts are calmed. How you are in peace. This is what Shastra says as Chitta Shuddhi. Rituals are performed for Chitta Shuddhi. Puja is performed for Chitta Shuddhi. If you do the puja for some 20 minutes, don't bring theories there. The time of puja, don't think whether Brahman, whether Jagat is Satyam or Mithya, or whether Paramatman, Jivatman are one or not. Don't get into any philosophical discussion. While doing puja, don't bring the theories, don't bring the discussions in your mind, don't have any planning. Perform puja. Bring the garland and offer it to the deity. Sit in front of the deity. Okay. And slowly pour the water on that salagrama. In the process of 20 minutes to half an hour, you feel the peace. You feel the calmness. Your mind is calmed. Okay. And in this process, you are acquiring, at least to a very little extent, Atmanikshepa and Karpanya, which lead you to calmness. To a very little extent, you are taking this to Atmanikshepa, submission, and Karpanya. Karpanya is, I am little in front of the Lord. That kind of tendency, that kind of humility. This humility leads to humanity. So, the whole of puja you are doing to be in that calmness, to be in that peace, that's a different thing. So, I have explained the purpose of puja. This has to be the purpose of puja. Okay. You have explained the purpose of puja, it's wonderful, fine. Sir, till the question is not answered. What question? What's the way to please the God? To please the God, what's the way? In Shastra it is told, okay, leave Shastra. I'm just asking you, if at all God exists, what can be the way to please the Lord? If that God is wonderful, if that God is all virtuous, if at all God exists, God has to be all virtuous, right? Is God selfish? Is God egocentric? If at all, God, whether God is omnipresent or not, omniscient or not, omnipotent or not, whether God is infinite or not, whether God is a male or not, female or not, whether God is a person or not, a principle or not, whether God is a concept or not, one thing can never be denied. What is that? If at all God exists, He has to be selfless. Some schools of thoughts may tell you, God is not omnipresent. Some other school of thought may tell you, God is not omniscient. Another fellow will tell you, God is not omnipotent. But if character is lost, everything is lost, even for God. If with His omnipresence, with His omnipotence, with His omniscience, He doesn't become God. With the virtue and selflessness, He becomes God. He has to become God only with that. My God has to be the most righteous and the most selfless Lord in the world. Only Him I can worship as God. I need such an elevation in the place of worship. In the place of worship, I need such an elevation. Okay, Kalyanatama. The most auspicious virtues I need in the place of my worship. I don't bother whether my object of worship is omniscient or omnipresent or omnipotent. If those things are there as an addition, let them be so. Let them be so. I don't care. But to me, what I worship is the selflessness, that righteousness, that I take as divinity. So, my Lord should expect me to be virtuous. My Lord should expect me to be virtuous. Him alone or her alone I can take as my Lord. I may garland Him. I may do Deeparadhana to Him. I am thorough that all these things I am doing not to please Him but to calm my mind. These are the uddipanas to submit myself to him. But what he expects, that's the question. We don't know. Go and ask him. He's standing there. To get elevated. What we want from him is not the matter at all. Okay. You go and ask him, what do you expect, my dear, from me? Where can we get the answer for this? God communicates with us through Shastra. Therefore, the only refuge can be Shastra here, because God is invisible to most of the samsarins. So to please God, in what way we can live? To understand this, we have to approach Shastra. Because it is told in Vishnu Dharma, a text named Vishnu Dharma, Shruti Smritir Mamaiva Agya Yastam Ullanghya Vartaye Agya Chedi Mamadrohi Madbhaktopi Na Vaishnavaha. Okay. Shruti and Smriti are my order. One who transgresses Shruti and Smriti, he is my traitor. He need not be a traitor. Any other word we can use? Betrayal. Don't bring the word betrayer at all. He doesn't please me, we may tell like that. Okay. One who is not following dharma, one who transgresses dharma is not pleasing me. This is enough. Why Bhagavan is calling in this shloka him as a traitor? That you have to see in the next line, Madbhaktopi. Okay, if he is an ordinary person, if he is not following dharma or transgressing dharma, he is not pleasing me, that's all. He becomes a traitor when he is not pleasing me being my devotee. Being my devotee. He calls himself as my bhakta. He calls himself as my devotee. And he devotes some time also for me. He comes to the temple. He participates in bhajan. He participates in Anga Pradakshanam. All these things he does. And he also calls everywhere he goes and shows, I am Rama Bhakta, I am Rama Bhakta. Rama Bhakta is showing. But he is not following dharma. Such a kind of person cannot be taken just as not pleasing the God. He has to be taken as a traitor of God. Agya chodi chedi mamadrohi madbhaktaha. Madbhaktaha, the word in Vishnu Dharma, Vishnu is mentioning. Madbhaktaha agya chedi. Regarding others, they only displease me, that's all. They are not my traitors. This guy is my traitor. Agnya chedi mamadrohi madbhaktaha. He may be my devotee, but he cannot be called as a Vaishnava. Vaishnava has a more elevated position. The word Vaishnava is in a more elevated position. Vishnoho ayam Vaishnavaha. One who, by this Vaishnava, the word, when we see this sloka, it appears that the follower of Vishnu. Okay, a follower of Vishnu. Who can be called as Madhva? Not just worshipper of Madhva, but the follower of Madhva. Correct? Any other example? Okay. The same way, Vaishnava is the one who adheres. Therefore, he may be my bhakta, but he is not Vaishnava if he is not following dharma, if he transgresses dharma, which is my order. Mamaiva agya. Very terrible and hard sloka, hard stand Bhagavan takes in this sloka. He will be like that only. If he is like that, only we can understand him to be all virtuous. Okay. Then only we can understand him to be righteous, all virtuous. A righteous person will expect righteousness only from his devotees or followers. What else he will expect? What else he is expect? If you want to understand, if you are serious about fulfilling his wish, you will seriously go to him and ask, tell me, O Lord, what is your wish? And since he is invisible, you go to Shastra. Okay, sincerely we go to Shastra. And I am told that it is the order of Bhagavan, of the Lord. For that, sincerely, I go to Shastra and go through the Shastra. By going through the Shastra, I am bewildered. Because Shastra means which Shastra? There are thousands of books run in the name of Shastra. Which Shastra? Very important question. Shastra is my order. Which Shastra? Is it Vatsyayana's Kama Sutra or Chanakya's Artha Sutra? Which Shastra? Or can it be the Veda? Which means what? Veda means what? Veda is Pramana of Dharma. Okay, fine. How many of... See, one who accepts Veda as Pramana for Dharma is a Sanatani. This is a definition. How many Sanatanis have even have seen the book Veda through their eyes? If someone sincerely goes through the Veda, say for example, which portion of the Veda again? For example, Brahmanam. Take for example Brahmanam, Aitareya Brahmanam, Taittiriya Brahmanam. I thought that I have to follow Bhagavan's order to please Bhagavan. That is the way. Therefore, I took the Aitareya Brahmanam or Taittiriya Brahmanam. I go through it very sincerely. I don't understand the Vedic language. Therefore, I take the help of translation. There are nice translations available. I go through it. I don't know how many of the people go through like this. They will say Veda is the Pramana of Dharma and it's the order of Bhagavan, but if someone is seriously, he has to do it. If someone is serious about order of Bhagavan, to fulfill the wish of Bhagavan, he has to do it. When he goes through, he's surprised because these Brahmana texts, they talk about various yajnas like Aptoryama, like Vajapeya, about which he never knows anything. Not only never knows, which he can't do at all in his life. He thought he has to fulfill the wish of God. He goes through this. He's asking himself, can I do Aptoryama? How many of the people in the world can do Aptoryama? How many of the people in the world can do Vajapeya? Very important question. I have a book with me which talks about some 96 Agnihotris. Nowadays they are telling that it has become 120 or 130. It's a good sign, very nice thing to happen. Before several years, I got that book where 96 Agnihotris with a photograph and their addresses are recorded. So the yajnas or dharmas prescribed in these Brahmana texts are only to the Agnihotris who are 96 in number or 120 in number in the whole world. If pleasing the Bhagavan is submission or Sharanagati, If we go to Shastra to please Bhagavan, to adhere Shastra, if I take Brahmana text of the Veda, it talks about Vajapaya and Apurayama, which has nothing to do with me. I am not eligible to even to perform that yajna because I am not an Agnihotrin. I am talking about me. Me, the Rangan, is not eligible to do any yajna. Me. And then think of anyone, some NRI, some Chinese person, okay, or anyone, take. So, if someone says, only through the yajnas prescribed in Brahmana you can please Bhagavan, when Bhagavan is only connected to these 96% of the world, only these 96% alone can please Bhagavan. Others in the world, 99.9999% of the world, they have nothing to do with the Lord. They can't please Lord. And the Sharanagati is futile, because Sharanagati is submission is again to please the Lord. To please the Lord, when you go through the Brahmana texts, you have only yajnas. And yajnas all of the people cannot do. You see a huge traffic in Bangalore. Do you think that they can do yajna? Okay. So, is it universal? I'm not asking about is yajna universal. Is Sharanagati universal? If you give this kind of definition for Saranagati, is Saranagati universal? If Saranagati is not universal, God is not universal. Okay. Okay, leave alone Brahmana, you come to Sanghita. Okay, let me take the Sanghita and probably it can show us the path by which we can please the Lord. When I go through Sanghita, I don't understand anything. When I look at it peripherally, I feel that it is prices of various natural forces. Probably with an esoteric eye, if we approach, we may understand it to be the way of life to please the Lord. I agree. But how many persons have that esoteric eye? How many persons can understand these devatas? How many persons can understand the principles found in Samhita in the world? Okay, when we come to the Smritis again, there are hundreds of texts which run in the name of Smritis. And all these things are anekantikas. Anekantikas means one text will tell you, you need to dress like this. Another text will tell you, no, it is a very great sin to dress like that. One text will tell you, this mark has to be in your forehead. Another text will tell you, this is a very great sin to have this mark at all. Okay. First of all, they are anekantikas, point number one. Another thing, how to practice them. If someone starts to tell you, you should have only Kupasnana, are you getting prepared to do Kupasnana every day? We are ready to become Kupastha Mandukas, but not Kupasnana. What's the way to please the God then? I'm serious about Sharanagati. Going on talking so many things. When you go to the Smritis, it talks so many things. Yeah, we sincerely follow several of them, no doubt. But are they practical to 100%? Are we following them in their complete sense? Is it possible to be followed at all? Parasara Smriti is telling something, Manusmriti is telling some other thing. Sometimes they are contra also. Smriti contra can be there, Smriti Shruti contra can be there. Even our elders, assuming that contra only, they have written this sloka, Shruti Spurti Virodetu Shrutireva Gariyasi. Okay. So, in spite of these thousands of shastras existing, for a layman, dharma is still not clear. It is told clearly that through dharma you please God, you please your Lord. It has to be like that because he is all virtuous, he can be pleased only through dharma. But are we getting a clarity of dharma? Yes, we definitely practice these kinds of rituals, no doubt. No doubt, to our capacity, to our ability. We do. We sincerely do it. But the thing is, still not it. Dharma's rupa is not clear in front of a layman. A layman, say our Venkatappa, say some autowala, they also feel the existence of dharma. There is something called dharma. They want to follow it. And they intuitively feel that this is a way to please the Lord. To please the Lord. And I am claiming Shastra is the eye through which dharma can be understood. Veda is the eye through dharma can be understood. This is what the Mimamsaka says. So sincerely, all these Venkatappa and our Muniyantappa, all these guys, they go to the Mimamsaka. Yeah, we are sincere to follow dharma. Sir, teach us dharma. No, you are not eligible. Point number one. Point number two. I assume that Veda is the guidance for dharma. Therefore, I am approaching. And after the huge crowd has come, I am telling, dharma in the Veda is only rituals, nothing else. This is the Mimamsa stand. I did not come here considering rituals as dharma. I thought dharma means humanity. I thought dharma means human value. This is what I felt when you are telling Veda is pramana for dharma. I took in that way. I thought you are going to teach some human values. But when I come here, you are talking in a language which is not relevant to me. You are talking wonderful things, I agree. Okay, while you are performing Agnihotra, you should have a mane, you will tell. It's a wonderful thing to have a mane while performing Agnihotra. But I am not a performer of Agnihotra at all. I thought you will be explaining, by the name of Dharma, you will be explaining some human values which I can practice in my personal life. When I approach you, you said, no, those things are not called as dharma. Dharma is this only. The whole life only these kinds of discussions should happen, these kinds of... So a layman sees this. Okay, this is not my cup of tea. Anyhow, drinking tea itself is adharma. Tea, coffee have to be. They are abominable. Okay. So these kinds of phrases, first of all, talking in English is adharma. It's a mlecha bhasha. Mlecha bhasha. If you talk some words in English, or if you use the words in English, according to some smriti, you have to have a dip. Okay. And then in this phraseology, having a cup of tea, how can it be? So, in this Ghora Kali Yuga, standing is adharma, sitting is adharma, sleeping is adharma, walking is adharma, everything is adharma. Okay. So, again, let me come back. A Venkatappa will tell you, this is not my cup of tea. Okay. At that time only, see, I'm very simple. I'm a layman. Don't bring big theologies to me. I can't understand. See, I take God to be universal, God to be infinite, and I strongly feel I also have a connect with God. Okay. So I wish to please my God. And I also intuitively feel through dharma I can please the God. I wish to be dharmic. I wish to be in virtue. So can I have a text which can simply, without talking big concepts, without having very heavy injunctions and prohibitions, without heavily loading various rituals which have no connection with me? I'm a China person, or I'm an autowala. Even if I sincerely listen to your rituals, you will tell me I'm not eligible for all these rituals. Okay? You will tell me I'm not eligible for all these rituals. So, being an autowala, being a rickshawala, I need to connect myself with my own Lord. To please my Lord, I need some humanity, some virtue. For that, which kind of text can be followed? I need a handbook. Handbook dhaan idu peru. Which kind of text can be? எந்த kind of text தர்மத்துக்கு உருவம் கொடுக்கிறது? தர்மம்னா இதுதாங்கிறது உருப்படியா இந்த டெக்ஸ்ட் சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு மனுஷனுக்கு புரியுற மாதிரி என்னெல்லாமோ இருக்கு. இதெல்லாமோ பேசுறான். எந்த டெக்ஸ்ட் ஒரு சிம்பிளான உருவத்தில் இதுதான்டாப்பா, இப்படிதான்ப்பா. Rightly it is told, Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmaha, to show dharma to all beings, a layman, a common man, even to a China person, even to a Rus person, even to a Mizoram, even to an Autowala, to show dharma in a simpler way. Okay. Even if it's a remote echo is broadcasted somewhere in television, by that some brothers can get reunited. Bharatarama Samvad dekhne ke baad, Ramanand Sagar's broadcast, on seeing that some Jagdawala brothers got reunited. Tell me, what kind of text can lead a layman to this kind of dharma? Whether you wash your hands after lunch through a plastic mug or through a sombu, or whether you koplichify 13 times or 12 times. No, only 13 times. No, only 12 times. Koplichify in English? Gargle. Not Google, You gargle only for 13. If you gargle for 12 times, you will get the sin of killing a cow. This guy is confused. I'm Venkatappa. I'm a layman. I'm getting confused with all these things. Okay. I need a text by reading or learning which, or by seeing which, or by listening to which, it should directly appeal to my heart. It should melt my heart. It should naturally make me to wish to live for universal welfare. Universal welfare. There is a story in Bible. Jesus was sitting somewhere, someone is about to fall. Some child while playing about to fall. Somebody comes there and tries to help the child. Another fellow was telling, oh, you should not help. Because today is Sunday. And it is an order in the Bible, don't work at the time of Sunday. Jesus is watching it and he is laughing. See, it's quite natural for a human being to help someone who is falling down. It's a good quality. Even such a simple thing cannot be understood by being such a bookish, dogmatic. Such a simple thing. Someone is falling, you have to lift up and give some medicine. You may bring a very big philosophy which can show you that you should not help that falling guy. It may be the greatest philosophy of the world. It is of no use to me. It is of no use to me. It is a dangerous philosophy. If such philosophy is there, it's a dangerous philosophy. Please understand. Such a simple thing. Even a Rickshawala will understand. Vibhishana says, Hanuman says, Tata Shastra Vipaschittam Sramayeva hi Kevalam. You guy, you fellow, you are a very great Agnihotrin, you are a Vedic scholar. Who? Ravana. With all your scholarship, your fundamental character has gone. What is that? You are abducting other man's wife without her consult. Okay. An ordinary person can tell you, who doesn't know any Shastra can tell you, abducting other man's wife is a sin. He will not do that. With all this Shastri qualification, you are doing such a filthy thing. Then what is the use of learning this Veda or Ramayana even or the Gita? If you indulge in this way, Hanuman is saying, Tata Shastra Vipaschittam Sramayavehi Kevalam. So I need a guidance which has to be a drakshapaka. It should touch my heart. On listening to it or reading it, I should feel that I should be in humanity, I should be in dharma. I should try to help someone who is going to fall. A donkey is dying. Sant Ekanath comes there. He has Ganga water in his hand. By offering this water in this desert, donkey will regain the life. Others are passing through. Let them pass through. Most of the people will pass through. I am not blaming them. If some donkey is dying in a street, do you think that the people will help? No, they will pass through. I am not blaming them. But when Ekanath goes and give water, they are ridiculing. Ridiculing that too in the name of rituals. You are touching the donkey. And Ganga is very pure. Such a pure Ganga water you are offering to a donkey. That's the way they ridicule. Who can be a greater Vedic scholar than Ekanath? Please, don't underestimate Ekanath. I think strongly that only because of his Vedic scholarship, he dares to do it. These fellows are just hypocrites. Who are ridiculing Ekanath are hypocrites. Ekanath dared to do it because it is told in his story that such great Dwarakadishwara came to him to learn the Veda. See, whether you believe it or not, how such stories came? Because of his scholarship of Sant Ekanath. Such a very great Vedic scholar, does he not know the achara that a donkey should not be touched? He is offering. And these guys around, they ridiculed and went away. Okay, adukapra story போறது. Fine. எதுக்கு இது சொல்ல வந்தேன்? This is a human tendency to serve the fellow men, fellow women, fellow beings. Okay. To show that path, can I have a laddu like Nellikani. Gooseberry like grantha. So that I can enjoy that grantha without any kind of interest. Such a wonderful grantha, such a wonderful literature where you never see any anti-human values. Such a kind of Draksha Paka you have with you, and we are permanently, eternally indebted to our Lord for this. Because the Lord thought, I should show the path through which I can be pleased. When the individuals, when the jivas are seeking how to please the Lord, let me come. Let me not write a book. Let me not sit on the mountain and command and send a messenger. Let me directly come. Let me offer myself to my own children. For what else I am existing here? Okay. Due to that infinite compassion, he descended. And he worked for us. He suffered for us. He suffered our sufferings. Probably he suffered the sufferings more than us. We are not exiled. We did not go to forest. We did not lose our wives. All kinds of pains he took in his life. Being born in such a royal family, he left all these things and suffered like anything and showed the path of humanity which can exist forever. Yavat stasyanti girayah saritascha mahithale. Up to our times, we are talking his story, telling his story. Such a Draksha Paka gooseberry is in our hand, for which we are eternally indebted to that gentleman, that Lord, that divine. Okay. So, here with this, Sharanagati is clear and visible. To please him, we should live him. Okay. Dharma is this anukulyasya sankalpa. Adharma is pratikulyasya varjana. Please understand. The second lakshana. We should not do the deeds which can displease him. What are those deeds? Adharma. To please him, what should we do? Dharma. Please understand. This is the thing. Anukulyasya sankalpaha pratipulyasya varjanam rakshishyati iti viswasaha. And the strong faith in our Lord, he will protect us. Rakshishyati iti viswasaha. So I think that all six are covered here, starting from Atmanikshepa. Okay. So, to please the Lord, we should be in Dharma. To be in Dharma, we should see his life. Karpari Ramavirana Yellal Matram Karparo. We should learn his life. This is the whole thing of Sharanagati. Okay. If we are sincere and serious to please him, we should see his life, not just read his life, not even just to learn his life, but to see his life and feel his life. Not only just to feel for his life, but to feel his life. By that, you start to follow the path of Ramachandra that can elevate you, which is called as Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyaha. This is the greatest boon which one can get. Sarvabhutebhyaha Abhayam. This Abhayam we get. Abhayam te Janaka Praptosi. Yagyavalkya says to Janaka in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. This Abhayam we get from him. This is the crux of Sharanagati found in Srimad Ramayana. So further Yuddhakanda will be continued in next week. Okay. Ramo Ramo Ramayiti Prajanam Abhavan Kathaha Rama Bhutam Jagadabhur Rame Rajyam Prasasati अमोघं फलवीर्यं ते अमोघस्ते पराक्रमः अमोघास्ते भविष्यन्ति भक्तिमन्तश्च ये नराः अमोघं दर्शनं राम न च मोघस्तवस्तव अमोघास्ते भविष्यन्ति भक्तिमन्तश्च ये नराः लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु सीताराम।